J-Hope fansite acknowledged.
No need to be confused. Yes, you've definitely watched this video before. What had happened was I got a notification from YouTube that one of my videos had been removed, as you can see there. The one that was titled, Why Does Jungkook Hate Headliner? As you can see here, she's the one who removed it. Like, she's the one who literally reported my video and had it taken down. The funny thing is, normally, if you use like a song that belongs to somebody, or when we use big hit content and our content gets flagged and copyrighted, they don't get our videos taken down. YouTube just lets us know that because you've used this content, now you've been copyrighted, you can't be monetized and whatever, yada yada yada. But your videos are not at risk, they're not gonna be taken down and all that stuff. But headliner literally had my video removed because I used that clip of JK glaring at her. It would appear she did not like what I had to say. But jokes on her, cause I've just deleted the clips of hers that I used, and I'm gonna maintain my video and I've re-uploaded it. So if you've seen the video before, nothing has changed. It's just that her clips are missing, but the video stays because people must know what she did. And it's not gonna stop me letting people what she did just because she took down my video the first time. So I've removed her clips because she complained about me having them and had YouTube take down my video. So here it is. It's the same old video but without headliner content. Okay? So don't worry, if you watch this before, you don't have to watch it again. You're good.
J-Hope fansite acknowledged. And here he's staring right at his fansite, dancing, singing for the fansite, and at the end, even smiling at the fansite. Definitely acknowledged. Sugar's fansite acknowledged, staring right at them, no animosity whatsoever. Bruh, look at that smile. Like, look at that teeth smile, like all of it right there for his fansite. Jin fansite. At the AMAs, he's staring right at them, and you can see a little bit of smile in the eyes. This fansite compiled all the times when Jin has been staring at them. As you can see there, where he's wearing red, he's smiling at them. And here he went ahead, gave them a thumbs up and a smile. That's Jin's fansite. These fansite at the airport acknowledged. He went as far as to wave at them, smile at them. Look at that big smile for his fansite. Aaron's fansite acknowledged. You can see there's a little smile on his face, around his eyes. Again, no animosity whatsoever. Then we got Jimin smiling at Black and White, acknowledging her at the AMAs. And here on this clip I'm about to show you is Jimin acknowledging Black and White at the concert. He smiled at her and nodded at her. Like, what's up? What's good? No animosity, no anger whatsoever. If he was annoyed by her, we'd have seen it. JK2 always smiling at Black and White. Look at that big smile. Look at that big smile. Here she got a wink, my guy. Here he's looking at her, listening because they were talking at the concert, asking her, do you want both of us or do you want just me? And by both of us, he meant him and Jimin because Black and White is a Jikook fansite. Do you want just me or both of us? Like, he's directing for her at this point. Here is both of them looking at her, acknowledging her. No annoyance, nothing. Acknowledging her at the airport, JK waving at her at the airport. I started this video like this to show that not all fan sites are problematic. To show that members do acknowledge their fan sites and they know that they exist. If you do not know the history of K-pop and fan sites, maybe you shouldn't be talking about it. Because I've been seeing people on Twitter like, oh, fan sites are stalkers. They're all Sansans. They don't care about the members. You don't know nothing. Fansites have existed since the beginning of time. They help build the members, especially from when they are nothing to where they are. Members know this and they acknowledge them and they are grateful for them. Big Hit tells them when they're gonna be at the airport. As just the same time they let Dispatch know and all these other media houses. They let them know they're gonna be at the airport. They're gonna be here. They're gonna be there. They're allowed. They are even sometimes allowed into VIP and given VIP access. So just because you see a fan site doesn't mean that they are automatically assassin. Members have even accepted gifts from their fan sites before. They don't do that anymore, but they used to before they were big. The reason I keep insisting no animosity, no nothing is because here there was definitely animosity. He was hella pissed.
So since I'm not allowed to have those videos in my content, I am gonna leave a link to both videos down in the description.
In April, she herself admitted that JK just wouldn't look at her. Matter of fact, whenever he went to her section and sees her, he just turns away. So at this point, she's just denying other armies the JK experience, which is not fair because JK does not like her. Seriously, look at how annoyed he was at her at the AMA. When JK does his tongue-in-cheek thing, because of you, you're done. Honestly, how can you just keep recording him when you can see just the way he looks at you? Like, I would just like drop my shit and disappear because what are you doing right now? The fact that he had to talk to V and be like, look at this woman. The audacity on this woman. That's what I like to imagine he's saying to V. The audacity on this woman. And you know what? Yeah, the audacity on this woman. How you gonna tweet like you're confused by why JK is standing away from you? How you gonna post this video in the first place despite knowing how much it's gonna paint you in a bad light? Are you gonna leave up the video despite the fact that you're going viral right now among armies in a negative way? Tell me she ain't got the biggest audacity there is. Just because you've chosen to forget what you did to him doesn't mean that he forgot, okay? And yeah, here comes the section where we talk into detail about what exactly Headliner did. Okay, so this person on Reddit, no, Quora is the one who shared like the whole history of what happened with her in 2017 and 2019. Yeah, that's her and that's how she looks like. Apparently, she's like an older army, like maybe in her 50s. And her age shouldn't matter, except when you're of a certain age, we expect you to behave in a certain manner. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being an older army, but with certain age comes higher expectations. And I feel like someone her age should know better than behave like this. So some people are saying that, you know, armies are being ageists, but I think that her age in this case does matter because you're not a child. Stop acting like it. So like I said before, Big Hit normally lets like these dispatch people know and fan sites let them know, come here. Even fans, you're allowed to come here, you're not allowed to come here, and stuff like that. They even they've printed statements several times on Weavers on where fans are not allowed to come. Nobody is allowed to show up. And so Headliner posted these photos of a place where just nobody was supposed to be there. This was back in 2017, like this person says, and this is when Ami started side-eyeing her. Because A, how did you get access? And B, how did you know that BTS were going to be there at that exact time? Nobody else knew their schedule. Nobody. Then fast forward to 2019, which is where she really got into trouble with armies. So she gave JK a gift. Was it for his birthday? I don't remember. That's irrelevant. So she gave JK a gift, and JK did not acknowledge it, did not post about it, did not even, we don't even know if he accepted or not, which I guess was her issue because she gave him a gift and then there was silence. Which I don't need to explain that idols are under no obligation to thank you for giving them something they didn't ask for. Especially if they stated multiple times, don't gift me. Or if you want to gift me, send to the company. So JK didn't owe her nothing. I don't need to tell you guys that. You know that. But she felt like she was owed a thank you from JK. And so when he ignored her or didn't acknowledge her gift, she got proper pissed. She got so upset and went off. And her chat was leaked from Kakao. So many people prepared for it. How can this crazy fucker, even if he gives me excuses, I'll beat him up like a dog? Bruh. Bruh. I'll beat him up like a dog. Is he dumb? How is he human? Is he a beast? He didn't even write anything. Oh my god. The only answer is to stop spending money. Yes, it is. JK did not ask you to spend any money on him. I don't know why she goes so freaking pissed. JK never asked for this. This fucker is always like that every day. Seriously, Amis can do better than Jungkook. Bruh. The entitlement. The entitlement. My guy. He continues, yeah, it keeps going. Jungkook, this psychopath fucker, his birthday. Oh, yeah, it was his birthday. Okay. Seriously, I freaking want to beat him up. Is he crazy? No, you're crazy. Honestly, just reading these texts, you would think that she was like a girlfriend or like an ex-girlfriend who got dumped or something. The amount of anger she feels just because JK did not accept her gift is insane. Like, this is why, like, K-pop, the whole thingy, they need to stop treating fans like their girlfriends because they just start feeling like they own them, and it's insane. Because this thinking that JK, mm-mm. Then she started going off on the members, like the members also got strays. Basically, yeah, you can pause to read all of that. And after all of this, you would think that this woman would be blacklisted. Like, not allowed to be anywhere near JK, anywhere near BTS, not at the airports, not at the concerts, anywhere. But somehow she still has access. Now, this is the part where if you're not a jikooker, you're not gonna want to hear this. See, armies are addressing what Headliner did, and they do not agree about the things that she said to JK. I've seen the posts and everything, and they've posted all those texts that I just showed you. But armies are not posting this particular part of the controversy, and we all know why. So she's still insulting him, that fucking B, that B. She said she's blocked everything, and she says she's gonna him. And then this is the part where armies are not gonna talk about. She says, JK, what are you doing with a normal dick? She says that JK is wasting his dick. She says that JK needs to get a proper girl and get over his mental sickness. She says he's sick because he had to hold it all in, right? Because, so she's insinuating, she's not insinuating, she is accusing JK of being gay here. And that he needs to sleep with a girl to get rid of that mental illness, which is homosexuality, because he's sick. Because sleeping with the man is not enough. He needs to sleep with the woman because all this time he's been holding it in. Sleeping with a man does not count. There is really no other way to interpret this part of the texts. She said that JK is gay. Now the question is, what did she see to jump, not to jump, but to rather come to this conclusion? What did she see? And we have established that she's assessing, like a proper stalker. So she clearly saw something that she wasn't supposed to see, which explains why JK still has distaste for her all these years later. And it also explains why she's not blacklisted. No, hear me out. She should not have access to BTS anymore. She should not have access to tickets. She should be banned from ever getting anywhere near BTS. And yet, here she still is, going strong. Twitter, 736k followers. YouTube, 897k subscribers. Here was Jimin stepping in front of the camera to prevent her from taking photos of JK. So this is how much they dislike this woman. This is how much they hate him. But somehow she still has access to BTS. How? How is she still allowed to be around? My jikookers know the answer. It's because of this. Because she saw something and she knows something. And the fact that we know who JK is dating, it's not that hard to figure out what she saw. And it must have been incriminating enough for Big Hit not to do anything to her. It's that I was talking to my friends the other day and I was saying it's that mutual distraction thing, right? If Big Hit like take her to prison or whatever, she could release whatever she's got because she's crazy. We've seen she's psycho. This woman apologized for all of this. By the way, she never once said that she didn't say any of this stuff. She said, yes, I said all of that. Forgive me, I was young. She never said she was being falsely accused, that she never said any of this. She said that she said all of this. So nobody's making anything up. She said all of it. But she has that apology app still on Twitter. I've not looked for it, but here if you go looking for it, it's there. She still follows JK and posts JK and all this stuff, right? And even this video of JK being super annoyed at her is still up. Again, it's that audacity. But it's almost like she knows nothing is gonna happen to her. Makes you wonder why. Makes you think, doesn't it? And even after she did all of that and apologized, when Jimin did this, the names he was called, oh my goodness. She went to town on him. She insulted him and called him all the names under the freaking sun. And yet, she had just said not long before that how sorry she was for what she said about JK.
And now that we know how he reacts to headliner, like that's the headliner face, like that's how my friends calling it the headliner face. Watch this video and tell me JK doesn't look happy. Like he does not look happy. You can tell that whoever he just looks at, he's very aware of their presence. Like he saw that person and he's still thinking about them as he sinks there because you can see him glance back at them again. Yeah, I would not be surprised if that was her here too.
BTS members are human beings just like you and me. And that's why sometimes they're not able to control like their expressions and we're able to tell who is mad at who or what is going on. Like you know that Jimlas thing, like they can't control it sometimes. Like RM and his reactions, or even on other members. Like, you know, we focus on Jikook, but also other members, they got their things. And if you analyze, you're gonna see some things. A good example would be during this live when they were talking about the making of Arirang, and V mentioned that Jin did not contribute to the album. You could see that Jin's face immediately dropped and his mood was short for the rest of the time. And armies were, you know, especially Jean solos were analyzing it and they were very upset that that was pointed out because Jean seemed quite unhappy. And OT7 armies who always like to go kumbaya, kumbaya every time, acting like BTS never get affected by anything, were claiming that solos are overreacting and we are just, even us who are not Jean solos noticed that Jean got upset by that comment. But OT7 armies who always like hallelujah all the time, they were saying that no, you guys are overreacting. He's just not. No, 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 no. But then it later came, and Jin addressed it in the Rolling Stone thing, and he said that he was disappointed that he didn't contribute to Arirang. And in this live, it was very clear that he, as soon as V said that, Jin, for whatever reason, his face dropped, and he wasn't quite happy about it. I don't know if he was upset that we pointed it out or he was just upset about the reminder, but either way my point is Jin wasn't able to hide how he felt in that moment, because at the end of the day they're human beings and they're not always going to be able to control their faces. And that's where I normally stand when it comes to V, because you can tell here JK clearly has a problem with the headliner. And when I look at V and G, and sorry, when I look at JK and Jimin, I never see them having a problem with V. V. And that is why I normally never have a problem with V. So this is what I normally say. I'm going to follow my faves, their lead. I'm going to follow their lead. And in this case, I'm following JK's lead. And according to JK, we do not like this person. And even according to Jimin, both of them, we do not like this person. And so she's not a nice person. And I'm just going to go by that. So if you love JK and if you love Jimin, block her and follow her because they don't like her and neither should you.